The law office smells like old leather and silent expectations. I sit across from two people who know more than they say. My mother adjusts her bracelet like a queen preparing for war. My brother keeps his head down, pretending he is invisible here. The attorney clears his throat, and the room forgets how to breathe. He reads my grandfather's final wishes in a calm, steady tone. My name repeats through the air like a verdict already sealed. Controlling shares of Tours, Steele transferred fully to Lena Tours. The family estate, and $5 million placed solely in my hands. My mother freezes, as if the world dares betray her authority. Her smile cracks into something sharp enough to cut glass. She claims confusion and questions the legitimacy of the decision. She insists Grandpa wasn't himself, and that emotions clouded his mind. The attorney counters with documents proving clarity and legal strength. My heart races, but my face remains still and neutral. I glance at Leo and wonder if he will speak for truth. He stays silent like a shadow, hiding from the light. Mother slams her hand against the table and demands correction. She lists sacrifices she believes the universe owes her for. Her voice wavers between wounded pride and raging hunger. Leo shifts uncomfortably, but still refuses to take my side. The air thickens, with resentment older than either of us. Mother claims the business is a legacy built by the family. She forgets who stood beside Grandpa through the hardest years. She forgets who visited when the pain made him refuse dinner. I remember every night I stayed while she traveled and smiled. The attorney finally closes the folder and ends the meeting. Mother storms out first, her heels striking the floor like gunfire. Leo follows, but not before giving me a look filled with fear. I walk outside slowly, letting the cold wind steady me again. Mother waits by my car with eyes burning like wildfire. She grabs my arm and leans close enough to chill bone. This isn't over, she whispers like a promise and a threat. I pull free and unlock my door without a single word. Inside the car, silence breaks open into trembling hands and breath. I grip the steering wheel until everything stops shaking inside me. The rain starts again, as though the sky understands too much. I think of Grandpa and his faith in my judgment and spine. He always said strength doesn't shout, it stands its ground quietly. I drive away with headlights cutting through the storm. In the mirror, the city blurs into streaks of gold and sorrow. I know the fight has only begun, and they will push harder. But I will not surrender what he trusted me to protect. The road ahead is dark, but darkness never scared me before. Days pass with pressure tightening like a rope around my ribs. Mother calls constantly, leaving voicemails sharp as broken glass. She accuses me of betrayal while pretending to cry for sympathy. She tells relatives I manipulated Grandpa during his weakest moments. They repeat her lies back to me through messages and whispers. Aunts I barely know suddenly care about my moral character. Old neighbors send texts urging me to do the right thing. Pastors speak of honoring parents while ignoring exploitation and greed. Everyone seems to have an opinion on wealth they never earned. I silence my phone, but the guilt knocks anyway. In the quiet, I remind myself the truth doesn't need applause. It only needs one person brave enough to defend it. I meet with Ava, my attorney, in a tall building downtown. She reviews the documents with calm surgical precision. Everything is valid, she assures me without hesitation. If they push this to court, they will lose fast. She warns me they might try other tactics first. Emotional manipulation is cheaper than legal battles. I laugh bitterly because I already know she's right. My mother's best weapon has always been family loyalty. She uses love like a leash and expects everyone to obey. Ava reminds me to never sign anything without her review. I promise her I won't buckle under pressure or guilt. That night, I sit in bed and stare at the ceiling. Rain taps against the window, as if practicing a rhythm. I think of Grandpa and how he trusted my vision. He told me once that leadership is earned in storms. Maybe this is the storm he meant for me to face. Sunday grows closer, and every hour feels heavier than the last. Mother sends a new message with a practiced sugary tone. She says she wants to talk peacefully and resolve misunderstandings. But peace for her always means surrender for everyone else. She mentions family wealth advisors joining us this time. I know what that means before she even explains. They will try to look professional while hiding sharp fangs. They will insist fairness only exists when she is satisfied. I pack a folder with every document Ava gave me. Proof is an armor I refuse to leave behind. As I place the papers inside, I find Grandpa's old fountain pen. My fingers trace the silver engraving of his initials. A sudden calm folds over me like a quiet shield. He believed I could handle wolves wearing silk smiles. I take the pen with me as a promise to him. The night before the meeting, I barely sleep at all. Lightning flashes, like silent warnings, across the distant harbor. I replay every possibility in my head until morning. What if they twist the truth better than I speak it? What if Leo never stands with me or speaks at all? Fear begs me to stay home and let them win easily. But courage whispers that nothing worth defending comes without cost. When dawn arrives, I choose courage for breakfast instead of fear. I dress in black because battles deserve armor, not softness. As I leave, I press my palm to the doorframe briefly. Home feels safe, but safety never changed the world. I breathe deep, unlock my car, and face the rain again. This time, I am not just driving into the storm. I am driving with purpose sharpened by truth and resolve. The house looks too perfect, like someone ironed reality flat. Mother greets me with a smile stretched thin as paper. Her eyes shine with triumph she hasn't earned yet. Two suited advisors stand behind her like shadows with contracts. Their briefcases gleam like cages locked and ready. I refuse coffee because poison doesn't always come in cups. They guide me to a chair placed dead center of the room. A stage arranged to make me feel smaller than I am. Mother begins with a tone she uses for charity events. She claims she is only worried about fairness and unity. The advisors nod as if her lies are gospel truth. They slide a thick document toward me with polished confidence. Voluntary redistribution of assets printed in greedy ink. They want the company back under family control, meaning her control. They offer me 10% like tossing scraps to a child. They say it's generous considering my limited contributions. I laugh softly because cruelty disguised as kindness is still cruelty. Mother warns that the community already questions my intentions. She mentions rumors of manipulation and selfish ambition. I ask who started those rumors, though I already know. She sighs dramatically, as if my logic exhausts her goodwill. The advisors speak about tradition and reputation and proper image. They forget that truth doesn't need decoration to stand strong. I keep my hands folded to stop them from shaking. My heartbeat drums loudly, but my voice stays calm. I tell them I will not sign today or any day. Mother's smile collapses into a cold, wounded snarl. She demands I show respect for the family legacy. I remind her the legacy belonged to Grandpa first, not her. Leo stares at his shoes like guilt glued his gaze down. He looks like a man drowning while standing on dry land. Mother slams a hand against the table, rattling glass and nerves. She swears Grandpa was confused and easily influenced late in life. The attorney's number in my phone feels like armor waiting. I repeat that his will is legal, clear, and final. The advisors ask me to reconsider before things turn unpleasant. I say unpleasant already arrived the moment they plan this ambush. Mother accuses me of breaking her heart and shamming the family. Guilt claws at my chest, but cannot find a home. I stand, gather my folder, and tuck Grandpa's pen safely inside. Mother rises too, shaking under her perfect white sweater. She warns the world will see me for what I really am. I say I hope they do, because I am not afraid anymore. Leo finally looks up, but his words die before forming. I walk out without waiting for anyone to bless my exit. Outside, rain splashes across the pavement like applause for escape. I unlock my car and breathe, as if air returned to earth. My phone buzzes nonstop, but I let chaos ring unanswered. Headlights cut through watery streets as I drive toward safety. Tears threaten, but strength tightens every muscle to hold steady. Grandpa's medal swings gently from the mirror, a silent promise. He trusted me with everything they want to destroy. This battle is only beginning, but so is my resolve. The storm has chosen its sides, and I choose mine without fear. The knock comes past midnight when silence feels fragile and thin. I peer through the peephole and see Leo soaked in cold rain. His shoulders sag like the water finally crushed his pride. I open the door, and he steps inside, shivering wordlessly. He looks like a man who lost every argument with himself. There is fear in his eyes and shame tangled in his breath. I hand him a towel and wait for confessions to arrive. He sinks onto my couch as if gravity doubled its weight. A sigh escapes him, heavy enough to fill the room. He says the house is unbearable now, suffocating with pressure. Our mother plans to move fast before accounts freeze legally. She thinks speed and manipulation can outrun the truth forever. Leo confesses he knows more than he ever admitted before. His voice shakes when he reveals the first ugly secret. Mother lied about his medical bills to take money from Grandpa. $18,000 wired out to fund her vacation smiles. He never needed surgery, never stepped inside a hospital room. He worked double shifts while she sunbathed under foreign skis. His wife discovered the truth, and trust dissolved overnight. Arguments became walls higher than either could climb. Eventually she left, taking the last of his peace with her. Leo covers his face like he wishes he could disappear. I feel anger pulse through me like a second heartbeat rising. She used our names like keys to unlock his generosity. She forged emergencies and sold compassion for designer shoes. He whispers that he always thought she had good reasons. He believed sacrifice meant silence when she demanded loyalty. He confesses he feared losing her love more than losing truth. I sit beside him and let quiet speak before I do. I tell him manipulation isn't love, no matter how soft it sounds. His tears fall like he never learned how to cry before. He admits this wasn't the first time she stole from Grandpa. There were other lies, wearing masks of family desperation. She played victim in a story she authored every act of. His hands twist in his lap like regret tied in knots. He says he's sorry he wasn't there when I needed backup. He says the guilt builds higher every day he stays silent. I place a steady hand on his shoulder to anchor him. We cannot change the past, but we can end its power now. The storm outside rattles the windows like applause for truth. Grandpa always said secrets rot faster than any rusted steel. Leo looks at me finally, with something like resolve forming. He asks what we should do next with trembling courage. I tell him we gather proof and burn the lies to dust. His breath steadies like someone remembering how lungs work. Mother may lead with fear, but we choose truth instead. He nods and wipes rain and tears into the same sleeve. We are two halves finally turning toward the same battle line. The night feels lighter, though thunder still growls above rooftops. We will face the next strike together, stronger than before. The house greets me with silence that feels like buried memories. I unlock the study door, and dust dances through stale air. This room was always Grandpa's fortress of numbers and truth. The desk stands solid like a monument built to witness everything. I pull the bottom drawer open, and wood groans with age. Inside, rows of leather journals wait like obedient soldiers. Each one labeled in his tidy handwriting with yearly dates. I pick the last 3 volumes, heavy with untold stories. Pages reveal every transaction Grandpa ever made in ink. Receipts stapled beside notes about conversations and promises. I follow the trail and see a pattern sharp as knives. Mother's name repeats more than anyone else written there. Amounts grow bigger as years push closer to his death. Reasons scribbled beside them disguise lies with family excuses. Dental emergencies, car repairs, medical bills that never existed. My chest tightens reading entries dripping with quiet disappointment. Grandpa always trusted too easily those he loved most deeply. I flip pages faster until ink begins to blur together. Then a line stops me cold with brutal honesty. Loan for Leo's surgery written with a shaky, angry note. No record of any surgery found, confirmed by mechanic and bank. The truth slices through every doubt left inside my ribs. Mother didn't stumble into greed. She sprinted toward it smiling. She took advantage of an aging man with a soft heart. My hands shake as I turn to the final pages. There I find the entry dated 2 weeks before he died. Meeting with attorney tomorrow. Changes must be made immediately. He was preparing to cut her out once and for all. He must have known time was slipping faster each day. I feel his fear and bravery pressed into every stroke of ink. Behind the journals lies a sealed envelope with my name on it. My breath stutters as I recognize the looping tour's signature. For Lena if they come for what is not theirs. The warning crawls straight into my bones like lightning. I sit on the floor and tear the seal open gently. His voice rises off the page in calm, unwavering truth. He thanks me for standing by him when others vanished. He writes that leadership is earned through loyalty and clarity. He confesses he documented every deceit so I could fight cleanly. He reminds me the company is not a treasure to hoard. It is a responsibility built on sweat and sleepless nights. He tells me not to let greed bury everything he built. He ends with love and final pride that tightens my throat. Tears blur the ink, but the meaning never fades away. The storm outside pauses like the world is listening too. I place the letter back in the envelope with reverence. Then I gather every ledger and photocopy each incriminating page. Proof stacks neatly into a folder thick as a novel. Leo arrives and sees the truth spread out like battlefield maps. He picks up a page, and sorrow carves lines in his face. We sit together, surrounded by evidence and years of silence. He asks what we do now with shaking determination. I say we expose every lie and protect what remains pure. Grandpa didn't leave me his legacy to watch it collapse. This ends not in shadows, but in absolute daylight finally. The living room is staged again, like a courtroom without mercy. Mother greets me with a sweetness sharp enough to draw blood. The advisors stand ready with contracts disguised as olive branches. They gesture toward the same predatory agreement from last time. Their smiles stretch wide, as if victory already lives here. Mother claims she wants a peaceful resolution before rumors spread. She says fairness means family shares everything equally again. She pretends this is about love, but greed drips from every word. I place my folder on the table like a quiet explosion. The advisors hesitate when they notice its thickness and weight. Mother demands I sit, but I stay standing tall and steady. She speaks of traditions as though she invented every one of them. I wait until silence tightens around us like a noose. Then I begin placing documents one by one in the center. Cruise photos, printed clearly with dates matching fake emergencies. Spa receipts during nights she claimed someone needed urgent care. Bank records showing money funneling straight into her luxury life. Each piece lands like a strike she never saw coming. Her breath catches, and her confidence cracks into trembling pieces. The advisors exchange glances that smell like panic and retreat. Leo steps in from the doorway with uncertain courage. He looks at her not as a son, but as a witness. He asks why she used his name to steal from Grandpa. His voice is soft, but cuts sharper than any accusation. Mother tries to twist guilt like she always does best. She claims she sacrificed every dream for her children's success. She swears the world never gave her the recognition she deserved. But her excuses deflate when truth pins them to the wall. Leo lifts the photo of her sipping champagne in sunlight. He shakes his head like a man done lying to himself. Mother's eyes widen as her control slips from shaking hands. The advisors start packing up, choosing survival over loyalty. Their departure leaves her exposed like a mask falling off. She whispers that family doesn't abandon each other in hard times. I tell her exploitation isn't hardship and lies aren't love. She demands I show respect for the woman who raised me. I remind her grandpa raised me too, but he did it with honesty. Her voice rises until desperation is the only language she speaks. She orders Leo to come home with her right now. He steps closer to me instead and says he's staying. The betrayal in her eyes burns hotter than wildfire. She screams that we owe her everything we have become. I say we owe Grandpa for everything worth becoming. A final silence drops heavy enough to bend the air. Mother sinks into her chair like a throne-turned coffin. She vows it isn't over, though her voice already sounds defeated. Leo and I walk toward the door together without looking back. The lock clicks shut like a chapter ending without applause. Outside, sunlight finally breaks through a week of relentless rain. We breathe a shared breath free from her grip at last. He thanks me for not giving up when he was afraid. I squeeze his shoulder because brothers deserve reassurance too. We climb into separate cars, but head the same direction. Ahead lies the legacy Grandpa trusted us to protect forever. No more shadows, no more secrets ripping this family apart. The storm is behind us, and our future is bright enough to follow. A full year rewrites the meaning of family and strength. I run towards Steel with a vision Grandpa always believed in. Sustainability and fairness build profits deeper than raw ambition. Workers walk the floors with pride instead of silent fear. Leo manages projects with shoulders finally free of old guilt. He reconciles with his wife and returns home to love again. Mother lives far away now, clinging to stories that excuse her. We no longer chase her approval to measure our worth. Grandpa's letter hangs framed above my desk as a compass. His words remind me that legacy is built by truth keepers. Sometimes I miss the man who taught me storms shape leaders. When doubt whispers, I hear his voice steady in my pulse. I touch the old fountain pen and remember why I stayed strong. Sunlight pours across the office and warms everything awake. We step forward, building a future he would be proud of. The past no longer weighs us down or steals our breath. At last, the house he built stands safe in the right hands. We survived the storm, and the horizon belongs to us now.